You're watching E.T.N. Entertainment-related news, entertainment-related discussion. Share and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. This is Rob. This video, we're going to do our review for WrestleMania 34. And boy, what a WrestleMania it was. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it. We're going to start with the first match, which was the men's Andre the Giant Battle Royale, which was won by Matt Hardy. And I predicted this win on Friday night during the live stream. I think it was a good call. I like the fact that Bray Wyatt came back in, and I think that's going to start a tag team or maybe a faction where Bray Wyatt is going to join the Hardys or the Broken Hardys, because we know that Jeff Hardy is pretty much ready to come back. They just haven't called his number yet. Perhaps we see them all tonight on Monday Night Raw, but I was very happy with the result of this particular match. The match in and of itself wasn't anything special. So, but I'm happy that Matt Hardy got the victory. So the next match was the Cruiserweight Championship match between Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali. And as I said on Friday's live stream as well, I predicted that Alexander would win. Mustafa Ali is a fantastic cruiserweight, don't get me wrong. But Cedric Alexander seems to have the most attention amongst the cruiserweights in terms of when they're shown on either 205 Live or if they have a particular match on Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, whatever the case may be. So I felt comfortable saying that he would win. He did win. I thought it was a solid match. The Cruiserweight division has slowly been coming back in to the fray and doing a lot better. And hopefully they can get a little bit more sunshine. And then it goes from there. And we'll see what happens. So I thought that was a good match. That was definitely pretty good. Then came the Women's Battle Royal, and this another match that I almost predicted. I said on Friday night's live stream I thought it would come down to Bayley and Sasha. It seemed like it did, with Bayley tossing Sasha out the ring, which I thought was fantastic. I'm not sure if that's necessarily a heel move, but at least for once, when it comes to them two, she got the upper hand on Sasha. But just when you thought Bayley was the victor and everybody was very happy, she got a pretty decent pop for this. Here comes Naomi, who, because we got so many shots of John Cena, I didn't even know she wasn't eliminated. She came back in and she gets the elimination. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. It could just be that Bayley and Sasha continue their feud, or maybe a new feud starts with Bayley and Naomi, or maybe there's a three-way feud for them. Who knows? We'll see. All right, so then the next match, kicking off the official start of the WrestleMania night, was the Intercontinental match between Rollins, Balor, and Miz. And I did want to, Friday night stream, I did say I wanted the Miz to retain. I knew he wouldn't in my heart, but I felt I was rooting for him. Seth Rollins I believe was the one I picked on Friday night, but I can't remember. It could have been Balor. But I think I said Rollins because I think Balor deserves his title run, and I think maybe that's where they're going to go now. But it was a good match. It was a great match. All three men did a great. Miz did a lot better than I expected. He really held his own with those two in the ring, and it was a good way to kick off WrestleMania, definitely. So then the following match was Charlotte Flair versus Asuka for the SmackDown Championship, and I said Friday night I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte won. I wanted Charlotte to win. I felt that Asuka's streak needed to end. I actually felt that it needed to end sooner, because when you give somebody an undefeated streak, it backs you into a corner because you make them almost untouchable. And it gets to the point where you can't believe anyone can beat them. And believe me, I thought the fact that she had beaten Nia Jax, several times, I said to myself, well, they're really, really backing themselves into a corner, because Nia Jax is, while she's been defeated, she's more or less undefeatable in some aspects. So, but I thought it was a great match, and I was not surprised that Charlotte won. I wanted her to win. I predicted Asuka because I was kind of following the grain, but I should have went against the grain here because I felt deep down inside that they were going to pull a fast one on us. But it's good that she got her loss out the way, because now that opens up everything. There's no pressure when it comes to booking her. In fact, you can now even build a good drama with Asuka. Maybe make her go on a little bit of a losing streak and start building some, I don't want to say sympathy, but perhaps a little bit of a slump to build some drama, and then maybe build something with Charlotte Flair or whoever else they decide. But it was a great match nonetheless. So definitely enjoyed that one. So then came the United States Championship match with Jinder Mahal, Rusev, Randy Orton, and Bobby Roode. Now, it's funny because we were doing chat in the Facebook Nation page last night when we were watching WrestleMania, and one of our members, Al Tinsley, had mentioned how I predicted that Jinder Mahal would win the championship. And I did actually predict that weeks ago. But actually on Friday night during the stream, I switched my prediction to Rusev because I really felt that Rusev being inserted into the match meant that he was going to win because he's been so over. But no, Jinder Mahal won. This was a complete troll. Nobody likes Jinder. And I guess he's a good heel for that, and it also helps with the WWE internationally. So, how long he's going to have it is one thing, but we'll see. Hopefully Rusev gets to get that title. Then came what I think is the match of the night, or at least a close contention with match of the night when you compare it to the Asuka Charlotte Flair match. That was Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. And I got to say, and I'm going to do this on a separate video because I have 2 separate videos I want to do separate from the review. But I got to say, this was fun to watch. And I thought Ronda Rousey looked fantastic. And Kurt Angle looked great. Triple H looked great. And even Stephanie did some good stuff. This was just an all-around good match. It had great storytelling. It really built some drama. It had people on the edge of their seats during multiple moments during the match because there was a bit of back and forth there where you thought that Triple H and Stephanie might actually pull it off. And then Ronda and Kurt would come back. But I'm going to get into this match in more detail on a separate video because I'm really happy to see that Ronda Rousey came out and really performed and I think exceeded expectations. So I thought it was great. Wonderful match. Then we had the tag team championship between the Bludgeon Brothers, the New Day, and the Usos. Very happy with the results of this match as I thought the Bludgeon Brothers were going to win. I did predict that they would win. When you consider just how talented the Usos and the New Day are, and the Bludgeon Brothers as well, in particular Harper, I thought it should have been a little bit longer and a little bit better. This was basically a dominated match by the Bludgeon Brothers. And I mean, I like the build-up. I like the fact that they're giving them this old-school, tough demolition type build. But, I mean, the Usos and New Day are no pushovers, and they kind of look like pushovers here. So hopefully that's something they correct down the road. But I feel the Bludgeon Brothers are going to be holding on to these titles for a while, as they should. Next, we had The Undertaker versus John Cena, which, I mean, you have to be a hardcore Taker fan to really, really be happy with the results of this match. And look, I give all the credit in the world to John Cena. As much as people don't like him or they boo him, I like the fact that pretty much for the last 6 or 7 months, John Cena has been a team player in the locker room. He has lost so many matches in the last 7 months, putting other people over, that, you know, at this stage in most wrestlers' career, they're still kind of holding on and they still want to be the top guy. He has really done a good job humbling himself and going into the twilight of his career and now moving into other stages of his career with movies and stuff. But, I mean, at least put on some sort of a fight. I mean, this was just a complete squash. It's like, what are you doing? I know a lot of fans loved it. It was great to see The Undertaker. He looks fantastic. Whether or not we see him again after this, maybe just a one-off match every now and then, he might go part-time. But this is the kind of wrestler that you can understand going part-time, and you can definitely respect going part-time, because any bit of the take you get is good, you know? So if you only get him for pay-per-views or the occasional big matches or stuff like that, I think that's cool. So, but the match was not that great. Unless you're hardcore Taker, anti-John Cena. I would have liked a little bit more of a competitive match, but it was good to see the Taker nonetheless. So then we have Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match was pretty good. I mean, it was great to see Bryan coming out, and the thing you got to love about this guy is, he's just so passionate about what he does. He really loves what he does. He really loves the fans. I mean, he came out, he was choked up, almost pretty much in tears. And I would say he put on a great performance. Same thing with Shane McMahon taking that early beating in the match while Bryan was there selling his injuries. And they did that a couple of times in the match where Bryan was kind of selling like he was injured. It was a pretty good way to troll and tease the crowd and play with their emotions. I thought it was a fun match. It was great to see Bryan back in the ring, in trunks, in full wrestling gear, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with him this year. So then we had the Women's Championship, Nia Jax against Alexa Bliss. This, to me, was a no-brainer. I really thought Nia was going to win regardless. I did predict that she would win. And, there was a while there that Nia Jax was getting good pop from the crowd a couple of months back. So I believe her getting this title is well overdue. And, I went a little bit longer than I expected. It was, but I find it so hard to believe Alexa Bliss being so tiny. What is she, like 5 feet tall? And then Nia Jax being, a very large woman. So the fact that it went as long as it did was a little bit unbelievable. But I'm really happy for Nia Jax. I think she deserves it. Alexa Bliss had the title for a long time. She was great with the title. She was great as a heel. And I thought it was decent. I thought it was a decent match. I liked the outcome more than I liked the match, though. Then we have AJ Styles against Shinsuke Nakamura via pinfall. And this was a little bit of a surprise. I really did think Nakamura was going to win this. But nothing was more surprising than the heel turn at the end of the match, which I loved. WWE needs a lot of good heels, and this one looks like it's going to be a good one because people were not happy with this heel turn. He was certainly getting booed. He was certainly getting heat, and Nakamura is a very talented wrestler, a very talented performer. So I think him being a heel is going to be pretty good. I kind of like that turn. The match overall was not as good as I think we all expected, but it certainly wasn't bad. And it had some great moments. But I think maybe the expectations were too high, but it was not a bad match at all. It was not. I just think they've probably had better matches in the past. So, and then we get to the Raw Tag Team Championship between The Bar and Braun Strowman and his secret partner, which turned out to be a little kid from the crowd named Nicholas. And once this was finally revealed, I kind of realized that this hasn't been confirmed yet. As far as I've seen, it's still early in the morning, and I haven't seen any news or videos yet from other places and other media outlets. But it seemed to me like this was a Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of thing. That's my guess, but I could be wrong. Maybe Nicholas could be the kid of somebody at wrestling, or I don't know. Either way, it was cute. It was a nice little story. People weren't disappointed. Let's put it that way. It could have been a situation where people were very disappointed. If you bring out somebody like the Big Show, people might be disappointed. If you bring out any other wrestler that people weren't hearing about through the rumor mill, they'd probably be disappointed. You can't be disappointed with a little boy coming out and probably living out his dream, even though he seemed terrified. So it was fine. It was cool. I don't know where they're going to go with this because Strowman has the titles now, and he can't hold them individually, and Nick is a kid. But who knows? Maybe we'll see a couple more matches like this where Braun is defending the titles and Nick just kind of stays in the corner and gets tagged in for a couple of seconds to give Braun a breather, and then Braun comes back in and finishes the job. They could go that route, and it looks like they might. We'll see. Maybe tonight on Raw, we'll see. And finally, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Now, I'm going to be doing a video on Roman Reigns because I have some things I want to say about him regarding what I think needs to change. But this is now look, I'm a Roman Reigns fan. I really am. I like him a lot. And I do think whether Brock was leaving or not, he deserved to win because Brock Lesnar's been a part-timer. And while I like seeing Brock perform, and I think he's a specimen and puts on a good powerhouse of a show when he's tossing people left and right, there are so many wrestlers in that locker room that work full-time. They put their body on the line every night, and any one of them deserve an opportunity. Like Roman Reigns or not, last night he was basically embarrassed. You know, the company asked him to sell out for Brock, and I do think that Brock Lesnar, there might have been some last minute. My thought is either he's just going to walk away and release the title and there'll be another tournament, or he signed a last minute deal with WWE to stay around for another 6 months to a year, because there is that thing going out that he is, you know, suspended from UFC for 6 months. So whether that's the case or not, my guess is that he did sign a short-term deal or another deal, whatever, short-term, long-term, doesn't matter. Or he signed an extension and used the UFC as leverage. It wouldn't surprise me. First of all, he's going to make just as much money with WWE if Vince pays him. Secondly, he's working part-time, so he doesn't have to be there all the time. And let's face it, his body is already ring ready. His matches don't go no more for 5-10 minutes, so it's not like he has to work out very hard. He just has to work out enough to keep his body in shape and cut, but he wouldn't have to go through the rigorous training that he would in UFC. So why would he want to leave? I mean, that's a great situation for him. And I think part of the stipulation of what I think might be a last-minute signing is that he wanted to go over. And I don't know. It was not a good match either way. And it's not all Brock's fault. Reigns is just as much to blame. I mean, I really do like Roman Reigns. I do. I'm always rooting for him. I'm always on his side. But with that said, doing spears and Superman punches for 10 minutes is just not entertaining. It's not. And I want this guy to succeed. I really do. But we're going to talk about that more in detail in a different video. This was an unfortunate circumstance, an unfortunate way to end the pay-per-view, because overall, I thought the WrestleMania was good. I thought it was a good WrestleMania. But the thing of it is that people are going to remember this WrestleMania for this match. This is a match they're going to remember. And because of that, it's probably going to go down in people's opinions as one of the worst WrestleManias ever. And that's unfair, because you had some great matches tucked in there, some great moments. And overall, not taking into account put it this way, if it wasn't for this match, I probably would have given WrestleMania like an 8.5 out of 10. But because of this match and because of the bad taste it leaves in your mouth, I'm going to have to give it a 7. 7 for me on this WrestleMania, which should be a higher score. But, you know, that's just how it is. It just was a horrible way to end. A horrible way to end. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. That's my review on WrestleMania 34. What did you think? Did you like it? How do you think they should have ended it? Were there some matches you thought were better than others? All those good things. Leave comments in the comment section below. And until next video, this is Rob signing off for E.T.N, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching E.T.N. Click here to watch more content. Or you can click here to become an E.T.N patron. Don't forget to leave a comment. Also, make sure you like and share this video. If you want to know when the next video is up, click the notification bell next to the subscribe button. And most of all, make sure to click that subscribe button for regular content.